Hello students, here is the another video for your online class and I welcome you again to come join with me to your class 11th Commerce for learning the subject Commerce. Students, today we're going to learn a new topic, classification of business activities. Business activities may be broadly classified into two categories, industry and commerce. So, a business is classified into two categories. First, industry. What is industry? Industry involves in the production of goods and materials. And the second category we have is commerce. Commerce is concerned with the distribution of goods and services. Industry. Industry means the production of goods for sale by the application of human or mechanical power. It is concerned with changing the form of goods from any stage from raw material to the finished goods. Thus, industry creates utilities for the satisfaction of human wants and to earn profits. So here, industry involves in the production of goods and services by use of various applications like manpower, human, and machines like mechanical power, and in this the form is being changed, the raw material into finished goods. And so industry creates different utilities. We have learned about the utility, different kind of utilities, and these utilities like changing the form, changing the place, it has been done to satisfy the various wants and needs of the human, the consumers, and not only that, the industry does this to earn profits for itself. Industry involves in production of both consumer goods and producer goods. Consumer goods are produced for direct use by the people such as bread, butter, cloth, spices, etc. Producer goods or capital goods are required for the production of consumer goods such as raw materials, machineries, rubber, etc. So industries, they produce both the consumer and the producer goods. The consumer goods are those goods which are directly consumed by the consumers, by us, like we consume food like rice, dal, bread, butter. We consume cloth. We consume doesn't mean that we eat it. Consume means we use it for our purpose, not for the production of any other thing. Producer goods or capital goods are the goods like raw material like rubber, plastic, steel, or machineries which are produced as capital goods or producer goods in order to produce the consumer goods. So industry involves in the production of direct use goods, that is consumer goods, and the goods that is used to the production of other goods, that what we call as producer goods or capital. The characteristics of industry. The first one is economic activity. Industrial activities are economic activities because their purpose is to earn money. Now we have learned in previous chapter that business is an economic activity because the purpose is to earn money. In the same way, industrial activity is done to produce different kind of goods and to sell them in the market and to earn money, and therefore the industrial activity is also called as economic activities. Production. Industry involves in production of various types of goods and services to satisfy human wants. So industry is all about involving in production of various types of goods and services, and all these goods are produced in order to satisfy the human wants. Third, wide scope. The scope of industrial activities is very wide. Advancement of science and technology have created new industries such as information technology industry. So when we talk about industrial activity, it is not only limited to the activities like production of goods or production of materials that we can see, but in this advanced age where science and technology are advancing, we have got new industries such as information technology industry, which is coming into existence in present time. And so we cannot just say that industrial activity is only about production of goods. It is also about exchanging information and communicating. The technology that is being used is also a part of the industrial activity, and so the industrial activity has got a very wide scope. Next we have is creation of utility. We have already learned about what is creation of utility. Industry creates utility by converting raw materials into useful products which can be used to satisfy human wants. So here there are various types of creation of utility that we had learned. Form utility, converting wood into table. Place utility, the goods which are not available through transportation, the goods are made available over there. Time utility, by keeping the stock of goods at the time of off season, when the goods are not available, the goods can be provided to the consumers and satisfy their wants. So industry also creates utility like form utility, converting raw materials into useful products and satisfying the wants of the human. Economic development. Industries accelerate the pace of economic growth by making productive use of natural and man-made resources. It generates employment, increases national income, and earns foreign exchange. So the industries, it helps to increase in economic growth by making productive use of natural resources, resources that has been given by Mother Earth, man-made resources. And not only that, it generates employment to the unemployed and increases the national income. Now national income is the total income of the people living in a country. So when people will be employed, they will get wages and salaries. When they will give their resources for productive use like land, building, so they will receive rent, and so this income will increase and the national income of the country will increase. And when the industries will advance, it will produce more better goods, and we can sell goods outside the country and earn foreign currencies and foreign exchange. Part of business. Industry is a major part of business. Industrial activities give rise to other business activities such as trade and aids to trade. Like we have seen already that the business is classified into two categories, industry and commerce. So industry is a very important part of the business, because only when there is industrial activity, when there is production of different goods, types of goods, it gives rise to other business activity, trade like wholesale trade, retail trade, and it also gives rise to aids to trade, like when the goods are being produced, it needs to be transported from one place to another in order to reach to the consumers, so it gives rise to transportation trade. When the goods are being produced in large quantity and it has been bought in large quantity by the wholesalers, it needs to be kept in godown, and so it gives rise to warehousing. To keep it away from any risk, there is a need of providing insurance, and so it gives rise to the insurance trade. The finance is been required not only for the production but also for the distribution of the goods, so it gives rise to the banking trade. So the industry is a major part, because when there is industrial activities, it will give rise to other activities like trade, like wholesale trade, retail trade, and it will give rise to aids to trade like warehousing, transporting and other kinds of aids to trade. Now let us have a rough look again to the main characteristics of the industry. The first one is economic activity. We call industrial activity as economic activity because it is done with the purpose to earn money. Second, production. The industry involves in production of various types of goods and services to satisfy human wants. Third, wide scope. In this modern times, when the science and technology is advancing, we cannot only call those industries which produces goods as industries, but even the information technology industry can come under the group of industries. Fourth, creation of utility. The industry creates the raw material into useful product and satisfies the wants of the human. Next, economic development. The industries helps to increase the economic growth of the country by providing employment and increasing the national income, and so it helps in the economic development of the country. And last, we have part of business. The industrial activity is a part of business, and it is a major part, and it leads to different activities, business activities like trade and aids to trade. Next we have is types of industries. The first type we have on the basis of activity. Primary industry. Industries which provide basic raw materials from natural sources. These are two types. A. Genetic. These industries are concerned with breeding of certain species of plants and animals with the object of earning profit for sale. Example, plant nurseries, dairy farming, fish hatcheries, etc. So the first type of primary industry that provides basic raw materials from natural resources is genetic. Genetic industry is concerned with the breeding and the growth of certain species of plant and animals with the object of earning profit by selling it. Second, we have extractive. These industries are engaged in extracting useful materials from soil, air, water, and from beneath the earth's surface. Example, agriculture, mining, quarrying, oil exploration, etc. So the second type of primary industry is extractive. These industries are engaged in extracting, in taking out useful material from soil, air, water, or from beneath the earth surface, like we have mining, oil exploration, and etc. There is one difference between genetic and extractive industries. In case of extractive industry, man cannot add to wealth he withdraws from earth, sea and air. But in case of genetic industry, man not only adds to wealth but reproduces the nature-made goods. So one major difference between genetic and extractive industry is, once you extract the useful materials from the soil, air, water, you cannot add it back to the earth. Once it is taken out, it is taken out. And in case of genetic industry, you can add to the wealth by reproducing, by planting more species of plants, by the birth of new animal, new type of species, or birth of new cattle. You can reproduce the nature made goods in the genetic industry and add to the wealth. Now let us look into the few examples of primary industry on the basis of activity. Mining industry, that comes under the extractive industry. Agriculture industry, that also comes under the extractive industry. The fish hatchery, that comes under the genetic industry. Cattle breeding, that comes, or dairy farming, that comes under the genetic industry. Plant nursery, that comes under the genetic industry. And oil extraction, that comes under the extraction industry. Secondary industry. Industries which use the material provided by primary industries, there are of two types. Manufacturing. These industries are concerned with the processing or transformation of raw materials and semi-finished products into finished products. Manufacturing industries are of following types. So the second type of industry on the basis of activity is secondary industry. And these industries are again classified into two types. The first is manufacturing, which manufactures or which processes or transforms the raw material into semi-finished or the finished product, like cotton into thread, what we can say as semi-finished product for the production of cloth, or the latex into rubber, which is a semi-finished product which is used for the production of different type of goods like tire, seat, rubber seat or other kinds of material. So the manufacturing industries are again classified into following types. Analytical. In this industry, a basic raw material is broken into several useful materials. Example, in an oil refinery, crude oil is refined and several petroleum products are obtained. So in analytical industry, the basic raw material is broken into several useful materials, like crude oil is refined to make several type of products, what we call as petroleum products. Second, synthetical industry. In this industry, two or more materials are mixed to form a new product. Example, cosmetic, soap, cement, fertilizer, etc. So in synthetic industry, two or more material, like we have got two type of chemicals or two type of material like flavor or like smell, or for smell or for flavor, or two or more materials are been formed as one new product, like we have cosmetics, soap, fertilizers. Processing. In this industry, a material is processed through various stages. Example, in the cotton textile industry, cotton passes through the spinning, weaving, dyeing, bleaching and printing process. So in process industry, the material goes through different stages. Like in cotton industry, cotton textile industry, first the cotton is been spinned into thread, then the weaving is been done, the thread is been weaved into cloth, and then it has been colored and bleached, and then finally printing. Even in automobile industry, it goes through the process. It is a process or a stage which is done in the processing industry. Next, assembling. In this industry, manufactured components or parts are combined together mechanically or chemically to produce a new product. So in assembling, we have got, even we can say the automobile industries also comes as assembling. It can be a stage work also, we can say, or it can be also assembling where the different parts or components are combined mechanically or chemically into a new product, like TV set, watches, etc. Now let us have a look into the manufacturing industry, a bird eye view. The first one was analytical industry, where the useful basic raw material is been broken into several useful materials. Like here we have the crude oil is broken into the oil which is used as petrol, diesel, as petroleum jelly, as fuel to be put in aircraft or gas cylinders to cook food. Synthetical industries, where two or more materials are mixed to form a new product, like making fertilizers, soap, cosmetics. Assembling, where it is involved in the assembling of different manufactured parts together mechanically, like assembling a car or watch or television. Processing, in textile industry, the stages that goes through spinning of thread, weaving into cloth, and then making into final garment, dyeing, printing, and finishing the product. Second type of secondary industry is construction industry. These are engaged in the construction, erection, and fabrication of building, bridges, roads, dams, canals, etc. They utilize products of manufacturing industries such as bricks, cement, etc. These industries create basic infrastructure through process of fabrication. The distinctive feature of these industries is that their products remain in one place and cannot be taken physically to the market for sale. So the construction industry involves in construction, erection, and fabrication. Not only the construction of building from the base or from the zero level, but also it is the fabrication or designing, interior designing of the building or any apartment, and construction of road, dam, bridges. And so they use the products made by the manufacturing industries like cement, bricks, and these industries, they create a basic infrastructure through the process of fabrication. And one of the distinctive feature of this kind of industry is you cannot take the goods to the marketplace to sell it. The goods which has been produced, road, bridges, will remain there only, and so physically you cannot take the goods to the marketplace for selling it. And so this involves in inventing something or fabricating something or creating something by assembling, bending, or by putting it in a form where we can say that a thing has been constructed. The third type of, on the basis of activity we have, is tertiary industry. Here, these industries provide support to primary and secondary industry. The tertiary industries are also called as service industry, like transportation, warehousing, banking, insurance, packaging and advertising are examples of such support service or service industries. Now let us look into the secondary industry as revision what we have learned. The first type was manufacturing industry, the industry which is engaged in processing and transformation of raw material and semi-finished product into finished product. And the second was construction industry, which engages in construction, erection, fabrication of building, bridges and the roads, what we call as construction industry. Let us look into few examples of construction industry. Buildings, bridges and construction of dams, and even roads, airports and stadium, all these are the part of construction industry. And one of the most interesting feature about this construction industry is physically you cannot take it to the market to sell it in the market. It is where it will be placed, it will be fixed in that place. Now let us look into some of the example of tertiary or service industry. Transportation, transporting goods through the means of air, water source, water transport through ship and through road by trucks, by railway lines, through with the help of train. Warehousing, by giving service, by keeping the goods in godown and providing a service of the storage or warehousing. Banking or insurance, where finance is been provided as loan to the industrial activity or the business activity. On the basis of technology used and nature of goods. Heavy industries. These industries use sophisticated advanced technology and produce capital goods such as steel, ships, aircraft, locomotive, machineries, etc. These industries are big plants covering large area of land. They are capital intensive and big investment needed to set them up. They make large products often bought by other manufacturing companies. So the heavy industries use sophisticated or huge machineries, advanced technology to produce capital goods. Like we have learned about the capital goods or producer goods are those goods which help in production of other goods, or the machines, locomotive, train, aircraft, and these require a big plant or big area to set up the industry, and it is capital intensive machine work industry. The work is done with the help of more machines, advanced machines, and the large products are often bought by other manufacturing companies. Light industries. These industries make small products mainly to be bought by individuals. Most are small scale, suitable for factory units or industrial estate. Only a limited amount of investment capital is needed. These produce consumer goods such as cosmetic, biscuits, stationeries, etc. So the light industries make small products which is bought by individuals, not manufacturing companies, and they require a limited amount of capital to be invested, not as huge as heavy industry, and they produce consumer goods. On the basis of technology and nature of goods, we have heavy industry and we have the light industry. Heavy industry, they use sophisticated technology and produce the producer or capital goods, and the light industry, they produce the consumer good and which is been consumed by the individuals. Now let us look into the basic distinctions between the heavy and light industry. The raw material used in heavy industry is large, bulk and not processed. Light industries, they use small, maybe partially processed. Products produced in heavy industries tend to be large scale business with bulk and heavy products. Light industries, they make small products mainly to be bought by individuals. The scale or the area that is covered by the heavy industry is large area of land because they require big plants. Light industry is suitable for factory units in small scale, like small industrial estate is enough. Capital requirement. Since the heavy industries, they use capital intensive machines, they require a big investment. The light industries, they need only a limited amount of capital. The land required in heavy industry is large area of flat land, and the land required in light industry has got no such large area, maybe only a multi-store building, or maybe only we can say a premises or a area, small area can do the work of light industry. The environmental impact of heavy industry is large in the water, air and causes lots of noise pollution. The light industry has got little or no impact on the environmental surroundings. Next, on the basis of size. Micro units. A unit wherein investment in plant and machinery is up to rupees 25 lakh in case of manufacturing and up to 10 lakhs in case of service enterprise. Small units. A unit wherein investment in plant and machinery is more than rupees 25 lakh but does not exceed rupees 5 crore in case of manufacturing and up to 10 lakh to rupees 2 crore in case of service enterprise. Medium units. A unit where investment in plant and machinery is more than 5 crore but does not exceed rupees 10 crore in case of manufacturing and up to 2 crore to 5 crore in case of service enterprise. Large unit. A unit where investment in plant and machinery exceeds rupees 10 crore in case of manufacturing and exceeds 5 crore in case of service enterprise. So here on the basis of size, we have micro, small, medium and large unit, and it differs with the investment. Investment is the amount that you put into the business. So it depends on the manufacturer or the service enterprise, depending on what type or what size of unit is it, on the amount invested, micro, small, medium or large. Now, and so on the basis of size, we have micro unit, small unit, medium unit and large unit. So this is all about the different types of industry on the basis of size, on the basis of technology used, and on the basis of the activity. And I hope you all are following the online class and keep yourself updated so that in last moment you will not have any problem to understand anything as we go further in the chapters, because each chapter is connected with each other, and so you cannot miss any. In order to understand the whole book, you have to keep on learning and keep remembering the previous topics that we are learning. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good time and have a safe day.